All right, welcome all to the 2023 Summer Algebra Institute parent orientation. If there are any students there, shout out to them. It was optional for them. And we had to go through a lot to get it at the LA site and get it at the cathedral after we were, we had a little, I won't say it out in public, there was an issue that came up with LAUSD's in our application to Dorsey at the last minute. And they were going to let us use a computer lab and everything. So we're going to have to make some adjustments to make this work. And I think we can do it. That's the purpose of the meeting. I want to thank you all for coming and registering and try to keep our youth busy this summer. I think you'll like the program we put together for you. So with no further ado, let me go on through it. I got a bunch of my teachers here. We'll get to meet a lot of them today too. The CSU SAI is a ministry program of Los Angeles and our EEP, Education Enrichment Program Ministry. It's funded by CSU, subsidized by our church and our trustee board, which has really been funding us because we don't get our grant till later after we performed. So that's why my concern with making sure who's in and who's not, and we got to meet certain requirements to get that funding. And thank God for a church that able to put up the money for us to get started and to have this thing going. So who are we? You know who we are. A lot of you, some of you don't. There are a few new people here. We're EEP, Education Enrichment Program. We're in Ministry of Los Angeles. We're the largest community and faith-based enrichment program in Southern California, and maybe the only church-based full-time one. Maybe in the West. I think there's one in Chicago and one in Philadelphia. I'm a full-time member of Los Angeles staff, as is Michelle Lewis, who's going to come by in a moment. The rest of these contractors are paid by the church, and it's exciting to have them with me. We have served over 800 families in the last year in one way or another, whether it's through a online question about FAFSA, all the way up to meeting us and us supporting their students to college. We helped 200 youth get in college this year, and we have other communications in the community with various families to help them with their youth. Our programs include our after-school program, which really was called a homework club. It's going to get a new name next year, a little bit of a facelift. We haven't settled on a name yet, but we want to get away from the homework club idea and move into something that's more usable for our parents. Perhaps some of you will be invited to help Yard and I plan that once we get the summer program started. Parent college access and high school support, admissions and financial aid, and much more. Here's some announcements and reminders. It's a large church investment, first 2 weeks. Please pay your fee shortly if you haven't already. A lot of you, I guess most of you have, but go ahead and see if you can pay that fee as soon as you can. That's really going to help us. We have some equipment I have to purchase, and then we have to go get it the last minute over the weekend. It'd be great if you could do that. I'd really appreciate it. Those of you who have paid, thank you very much. Nobody's registration is in jeopardy. We're still going to proceed with whoever pre-registered and who came back to us in email. Start planning alternate technical enrichment beyond this program. Please do. We'll have more to say about that when we get to our parent Zoom session in the middle here. We're going to have a parent session optional. We're going to tell you about all kind of great stuff in the community and things we'll be doing next fall. And I'm going to talk about affordable college planning with you in that meeting. We used to have Eric Moore. We're still going to have Eric. Eric is going to speak in back to school week for us. He's a great speaker and you'll really appreciate him. We'll have him in after the summer algebra program. Do your best to support all aspects of our program. If you still need to register, you can go here. There's some people here that are going to be seeing this tonight and you want to put your students in. Of course, you want to maybe wait till the presentation, but you can go to there. I guess you could do it now too, /program, westa-eep/program, and you can register. We're going to pull down the registration link probably on Saturday. We learned lesson learned to not have people registering the first night. We may reopen later next week, but we want to make sure it's a soft landing for everybody here today. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get a link to that at some point in the program. Bailey and I or I will send that to you. It's a good idea to do that. There's lots of good stuff on there in the background of our program. Right now, I have some great videos that I'm going to be showing to your students that I've already put them on YouTube, and people are watching those and seeing the kinds of STEM careers and things like that your students are going to learn about. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. Go ahead, that's right. Mute your microphones as you come in, please. Thank you. You can subscribe to our channel. I said, follow us on our website too, which is at www.westa-eep.org. Fresh content almost every day, thanks to the greatest webmaster in the world, Asia David. I have some special requests. If the student has a laptop, please send them on the first day with their laptop, and then the days that they'll have it twice a week, they'll need it after that. We want to get an idea of how many laptops we need. So right now, if you think that's going to be a problem, it seems like youth will be more familiar with their own anyway, but if they do not have one, they could still do the program. Bailey, I'm going to have them do this, okay? Could you text on a private chat to Bailey Salisbury and tell her that you need a laptop if your student doesn't have one for 2 days per week? Because remember, the program, as you're going to see in a moment, is 2 days of teaching, 2 days of they'll need their laptop for various things we're going to be doing. If they don't have a laptop, they can still do the program. We just want to get an idea of how many we need to actually rent. I don't want to rent more than I really need, and I have the vendor that's waiting for us. I would obviously rather your student have their own computer, and it will save us that expense too, but also sometimes students just prefer that, and that's fine. All right, it's not for online like Zoom or anything. We're not doing that, but there's an interactive program they're going to be using on there, and I have some videos they're going to watch from time to time. I have a big screen too that I'm going to have up for other videos. We will figure out over the weekend. Just let us know who actually needs a laptop. To start texting her right now to Bailey Salisbury. She's out there. All right. The number for the text. Let me see. So it's not a number. It's a chat. It's a chat text. Sorry, I wasn't clear, Sister Kim. If you don't know how to use personal chat on Zoom, then you need to email me. Okay, some of you aren't used to using Zoom. I understand. Just email me. You know what I mean. But hey, Bailey, are you seeing any chats yet? Let me get some communication on here.
Yes.
Well, good. So some people know. Those of you who do not know, you don't have to text me at a phone number. Just email to me. You need a laptop. Okay. All right, Bailey is collecting it right here for convenience if you want to use the chat that's on Zoom. Okay, let me continue here. If your youth does not have a laptop, they can tell us in the chat. I've already done that. This will help our planning, all right? Now let's get into the meat of the meeting. Here's an SAI Program Components Overview. Math enrichment. You can mute your microphone there, be great. Math enrichment classes in foundational math, and foundational math is going to be the new name for pre-algebra and any math in 6th, 7th, and 8th preceding algebra. You're going to hear that term in your schools next year, and CSU is already using the terminology. Algebra, geometry, advanced math, that's advanced math. What's missing there is advanced algebra. Advanced algebra should also be there. I'm sorry for the omission. That's the new name for Algebra 2. You'll see that mentioned again in a moment. Once again, Algebra 2 and Advanced Algebra are the same. Please mute your mic right away. Thank you. As soon as they come in, you can hit the dots in the upper right corner there, Billy, and you can mute their mic for them when they come in, all right. Okay, we're gonna have an enrichment session for parents on special social media control session. Can't wait to have that with you. We're going to make it optional for parents. But that's the session where I'm going to tell you about affordable college. It's going to be a Zoom probably on a Friday to avoid conflicting with the class and your transportation of your youth. It'd be quite annoying. And I don't think I want to burden you with doing it in person. So we're going to have a tech session. I could do it on a Saturday morning. I don't know which, but you'll want to get that information. We have some really good information on how to control the technology in your house and social media. There's some simple things you can do with technology that I don't think people are aware of. I did a video on YouTube about it. It got 190 hits, so it's a very important topic. College and STEM tour information sessions is a component here. College and STEM tour information sessions. So we're going to do a college tour and a STEM related tour, and they have information sessions on it too. STEM math, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. STEM math, career activities, engineering, chat GPT, AI ethics discussion and training. We have more to say about that. An awards ceremony we're going to do at the program end. Okay. I'll say more about all those. First, for our program personnel, I'm the director, Deacon John Wilson. We have a site coordinator who's Nia Williams. Nia, say hello.
Hi, everybody.
So Nia will be the one who will be communicating with parents. Hopefully you won't hear from her too much, only when there's information needed or you requested information, or if there's an absence, we'll make sure that the student has the material. We also will, hopefully won't have to call about any discipline issues, but she's the one you would hear from first. And then I, of course, I'll get involved if I need to. Someone else here, that's great. We have 4 lead instructors plus 1 expert math instructor. And that person just came in. I hope she hears that's Linnell Salcedo. We'll say more about all of them in just a moment. 4 Ed Ready diagnostic and instructional assistants. Talk about that. 1 experienced and expert instructor per class. So each one of these instructors has experience in teaching, and they'll be guiding your student in the class on the various subject matters. Now, there's one person I haven't seen here yet. See if I can find out. I don't see Jordana. Jordana, is Ileana here?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Yes,
wonderful. I'm so glad. Hang on, okay? Ooh, I'm so glad. Okay, she's here. All right. Funny, they probably see me referring to him here. And 1 assistant instructor per class. Actually, it turns out that our Ed Ready diagnostics and instructional assistants are doing that in instruction of the assistants and instruction for the instructors. I will mention the instructors when I get the appropriate view graph here. The class schedule, the best way to state it is Monday through Thursday, 4:30 to 6 p.m. Please arrive by 4:20 for foundational math and algebra. That's Miss Giselle Green and Jasiri Liggins. So I'll stop there. Giselle, could you say hello? I don't know if she's on camera. If she is, she'll let you know now. Giselle?
I'm not on camera, but I am on. Hello, everybody.
All right, she's the instructor, and we'll be sending the emails, your emails to them, and they're going to email you during the weekend, most likely. So you'll make a connection. Also, we'll send you their email address to student parents. I want there to be good communication between the students and the actual instructors. But you remember, your instruction is going to be 2 days per week. As you can see on the screen, it's 80 to 90 minutes per evening. The other 2 nights, we'll see what you'll be doing in just a moment. Monday through Thursday, your students will be there 6:05 to 7:35. Please arrive by 5:50 to the cathedral. And we're talking about arriving to the cathedral. You arrive on the exposition side of the cathedral. Please do not approach by the 36th Street side. You'll be very frustrated because they will not be able to walk through the construction site for our building. Not yet. Maybe sometime during the program, there'll be an opening there. That will be very convenient because they'll go right to our classrooms, but it's not open now. They'll have to enter on the exposition side near Crenshaw. If you're approaching from the east, it's a right turn. If you're approaching from the west on exposition, it's a left turn into the lot. You can walk them up to the security guard area. And once they get used to it, you'll just send them on up there. The guards are going to be used to seeing them. There's 1 entrance in, only 1 entrance in to that side of the church. and the other doors are locked, you'll see signs saying, enter here, sign in with the security guard. That's geometry and advanced algebra. There's that term, advanced algebra. Advanced algebra is algebra 2. Okay, and that teacher's going to be Yard Jonas is the geometry, is the geometry teacher, and Stephanie Brown is advanced algebra. Yard, say hey. Yard?
Hal's having trouble with the button. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, Yard's been with me for quite some time. Yard, how long has it been? I don't.
Well, 2017, so that's about 6 years.
Let me go back to Jasiri. Hey, Jasiri, you there?
Yes, hello, I'm here.
How long have you been with me? Wait a minute now.
Like 8 or so years, I think now.
See, parents, these are the people that have some kind of psychological issue dealing with me, but but these are great guys, great teachers. Sister Giselle, we're really blessed to have great teachers. And another one is Stephanie Brown. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie?
Hey, Deacon.
Hey, how long you been hanging around me? Hey, I want you to count the Long Beach one way back. How long you been with me?
We've been working together over 10 years, probably over 15 years too, I think, Deacon.
I checked. It's 14 years.
Okay, so 09. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you were interacting with Laura. I still work with her on projects.
Correct. Yes, correct. Gimdis, right?
Yes. Boy, she's been with me a lot. See, these folks been hanging around me a long time. They know what's up here. So there's Stephanie, and she's also a great VIP for the aerospace industry, but she doesn't like me calling her that. So I made sure she was off the speaker when I did that. Let's continue. I'll talk about the Ed Ready a little later, Ileana, okay? All right, course overview. There are the courses again to review. But one more class has been added to the list. The in-person classes are foundational math, algebra, advanced algebra, algebra 2, geometry, and advanced math, which is again the name for this course. It's pre-calculus prep, and that is our only course we're allowed to do online. And some of you are here for that course. You're going to hear more about it's part of a larger program. I know it was confusing to you, but the class that they started today is part of a larger program called SAI, and they will be invited to participate in the activities that we'll be discussing here. I'm just going to start the second week. I didn't want to start some of the stuff until they had a first class with me, okay? And the idea is to get students ready for their anticipated math course in the fall. We want to improve grades. If they take this short program, 6-week program, even though the instruction is not incredibly intense, it's an enrichment program to get them excited about math, excited about future careers, and to get information on how to do well, and to get some diagnostic analysis of where they are and their weaknesses running up to the school year. The idea is it will improve their grades in the fall, improve their performance this fall. That's the whole point of this. Major course topics, just to hit the top level things I think our teachers will hit. Historically, they've hit. Foundational math strengthens order operations, fractions, integers, basic problem solving. There's some hands-on type everyday stuff she'll do in there. Percentages and proportions, basic variable combinations. How about that? One-step equations. It's kind of things you see in a foundational math course, okay? If your student is going to take 6th, 7th, or 8th next year, they'll be user-friendly to that class. I think that's the situation. Algebra prep, basic variable combinations, one-step equations, two-step equations, problem solving with algebra, basic quadratics, basic factoring, basic exponents. Advanced algebra, which is algebra 2, solving equations, rational expressions, linear functions and graphing, quadratic functions, equations, rules for exponents, radicals and all as time allows, okay? So this is that's the basic topics of Algebra 2 prep or advanced algebra. Plane geometry prep, points, lines, rays, squares, areas, perimeters, I should have said rectangles, parallelograms, okay, same thing. Parallel lines, types of triangles, congruent similar triangles. This gets them ready to take geometry. This is a class, this is kind of a legacy class for us because when we started our summer program some 21 years ago, it was because of geometry was one of the reasons our students were failing geometry, and Algebra 2 was also a concern. So we started the program way back there, way back in ancient times there. Advanced math pre-calc, advanced solving equations, factoring, quadratics, you see them all there. Domain and range, composite functions, imaginary numbers, and sketching graphs. This is good preparation for pre-calculus. We will do some very basic trig in the class too, very basically. And it's an online class and it's in the mornings. Foundational math. They're the courses to the left. We're going to cover the program flow now. How will the program flow from 4:30 to 7:30? There'll be traditional instruction and demonstration. It'll be 90 minutes, 2 days per week. So the actual instruction, 90 days, 2 days per week will occur. Okay. Then we're going to do the other 2 days. We're going to have enrichment sessions that will also build, number one, their motivation about math and science related topics to get them interested in their future careers. You know, especially now with things happening like AI and things like that, a lot of jobs are going to be replaced. And unless they get more technical and hands-on stuff that they're going to be learning in this part of the program, they're going to have problems. And CSU required us to do some of this. We have a program called Ed Ready. We want the students on that diagnostic. I'll have incentive for them to use it. Want them to use it 45 minutes a day, which isn't the whole session. So we're going to fill the rest of the session in very interesting ways. We have more to say about that, but there's some of the things listed: STEM and career plus demos. We're going to talk about Chat GPT AI ethics. I think we have to get out in front of that, parents. And our kids are already using it. They're already discovering it, just like they discovered TikTok and all that other stuff. We better get out in front and teach them here in the summer how to responsibly use those. And Yard's going to help me with that. In fact, Yard, we'll talk about that in a minute, okay?
Sure thing.
So let's talk about those technical enrichment sessions and the content. I got some STEM career videos that I want to present. What is engineering? What are the possible engineering careers? And you might say, well, they won't do well. When they're young is when they talk about different careers. And by the way, there's some mistaken notions about engineering. It used to be I didn't want to cover this as much, but I think if I can cover it as engineering as problem solving. And people think sometimes they have to have this immensely deep amount, be like an expert whiz in math. They have to be functional and good in math, that's all. And they could be in some form of engineering. I have some very interesting videos that we're going to present of our students who are doing careers. And some of them didn't think they'd be doing software engineering, cloud engineering, and they're doing that stuff. Those jobs are out there and they pay very, very well. I want our students to know all about that. Students in and out of college, they'll hear from. We'll have some of them come and speak with them for a moment or two. Some very interesting ones. And we have some videos that we want to show them on our big screen. We're excited. I think we want to do some Nigerian Igbo math with them. It's culturally relevant, of course, but also it's great for number sensing and mental math. I think all of us saw that at the CSU training session. It could be a great tool for you. Some of the teachers may want to incorporate it in their class once they actually learn how to do it in the other session. We think that it's great for mental math. It's amazing that they can do math in their heads like that down there in Nigeria, and it works. And the math system, wait, let me see if I can't really remember. I think it's based on 20. Hey, Ileani. Oh,
Yes, sir.
oh, please listen. Hey, look, what number was the number system for Igbo math based on? Was it 20?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's based on 20s.
Mm-hmm. So it's
Wow.
like plus or minus 20 or multiplied by 20, things like that.
I'm making you my Igbo math expert. Is that right?
Okay.
I think your parents, your students should learn how to use that because it's great for doing math in their heads. It's almost like they're walking around like calculators, Ileani, right?
Right.
Yes, amazing. Anyway, I think that would be a very good thing to do. That's something they can learn in those technical enrichment sessions on every other day. Then we want to have a GPT workshop. What is it? How should it be responsibly used? Hey, Yard, could you comment a little more on what we talked about today? I think we talked about it other times too, what we think about it, and had a great conversation with our director of discipleship at the church. He's concerned that parents and us get students out in front on it. But what would you like to comment a little on this for our parents?
Sure. I think one of the things we've realized with the emergence of AI technologies like ChatGPT is we sort of opened something of a Pandora's box. I'm sure the media has said much about how it could be dangerous, and also others have said much about how it could be used for one's own benefit. Lately, I've been researching using it over the past 6 months, and students can find a way to use it as a research assistant. They can use it to program and code in ways that are beyond their current capabilities. In other words, you can program without knowing how to program, or those are two good examples of how to use it. So we want to make sure that students use it responsibly so that they can have an edge in the job market in the new world that we're entering. Not to overtalk it, but it's looking like we're going to get to the point where certain jobs will be phased out and students may have to learn how to create their own jobs using their own skill sets and combining that with ChatGPT. So we want to teach students how to use it responsibly and not use it in a dumb way, like to cheat and just be lazy. So
Yeah, and I'm going to teach them the countermeasures that LUSD and the colleges are going to use for college essays, and professors are already using. Listen to this, parents. They're using AI to determine if students used AI on their papers. So we don't want our students to walk into traps. We don't want that to happen. We want them to use it. There's some also cool things that I've used it for to help me think about things. You know what I mean, Yara? To help me sort of think about things. I've used ChatGPT to do that for something I'm working on right now for a grant, for example. Okay.
to give you an example, you can take some really sophisticated, complex research papers and stuff that's far beyond my personal understanding, but feed it into ChatGPT, literally take the text and copy and paste it in there. And then you ask it to explain it to you in a very simple way. And then you can ask it to teach it to you in more complex ways as you get, a greater understanding of it. So it's very powerful.
Right. That's right. And then they'll learn how to produce things from that research material. Anyway, we're going to open up that discussion with our students in a full 90-minute session. And we'll do a little bit of Ed Ready that day, Eliani, but we want to do ChatGPT, get them ethically responsible and tell them the precautions that are being taken by educational institutions. So that's what we see happening back up here in that block down here at the bottom, right over here, the Ed Ready technical enrichment sessions every 2 days per week. It's one of those sessions. Okay. Okay, we're also going to offer, my workers don't know about this. I wanted to get out of a requirement we had to have Saturday sessions. Sister Linnell is just seeing this for the first time. I hope I don't drive her too crazy. We're going to run an early bird lab on 3 to 4:30 each day for students to come in early. It'll start the second week after July 4th. It'll start, and they'll be able to come in and do extra work on their math and get extra tutoring on math. If you feel parents they need some extra work, they can come in during that time, and we'll be able to work with them in our in a specially prepared area we have. We're also going to have some STEM kits and projects late in the program during this 3 to 4:30 period. It'll be optional, but it's a waiting area for students. Sometimes students will come in and have to wait for their class. They can go in this area, and there's going to be videos playing, math projects going on, things related to math and critical thinking we're going to have set up in that room. Okay, so we're calling it an early bird lab. And even it'll operate all day, but between the classes, so they can come in there if they're waiting or if you're coming later for their ride. We do not consider it babysitting at all. We're going to have productive things they can work on there as a block of time in our program under the grant. Okay. Again, you want to present them with that laptop. That's going to be helpful. We'll have extra. We need them because we're charting who needs laptops. Field trips. Right now, we're confirmed for LMU on July 15th. They have a student panel there for us of our students who used to go to our school. Shout out to Yard. He got me in touch with one other student today. I sent him an email. We already had 3 students that I was going to have from our program on that panel. We're going to include 3 STEM and tech students on that panel that may want to take them over to see some things at the end. Again, we want to always show the technical side of things, but they'll tour the university as well. They usually have lunch for us and everything's usually pretty nice. We'll have a bus going. Here's the way I feel about field trips, parents. I can't make you do it. I understand it's sometimes inconvenient, that extra day. But if you can send them, they'll be so blessed. And the fellowship with other students is very excellent. And I think you should really consider it. We'll have signups for it online. You'll be able to go on our website and fill out a permission slip for them and everything. We'll have that set up by week 2, by next week after July 4th. Christina, are you hearing this? Christina? I don't know if she's hearing this, but she's going to help me with that. Jet Propulsion Lab or the Science Center Museum. We're not sure which we're going to do. It's July 29th. I'm really wanting the Jet Propulsion Lab, but they haven't gotten back to me on our size of group, whether it was okay for them. They like to use huge groups. I don't think we're going to have 100 people to go through there. I don't know why it's only big groups in the summer, but I'm trying to get them to approve us to go. I think it'd be a great trip. They have this super, you want to go to Mars section, which do you realize, parents, that within our children now, in their age group, these are the ones that are going to have to make a decision. Do they want to spend some time on Mars? My goodness. NASA's big on understanding that it's that generation that'll be going to Mars. So they have a whole part of the Jet Propulsion Lab dedicated to that. It's really a lot of fun and very informative from what I understand. So I'm hoping for that. If not, we'll take the Science Center Museum. Yard is planning, I'm not going to reveal what it is, a very special project that will be highly desirable for our youth if he can get that. And I'm calling that a special director's tour. I'm not officially included in directly under the trips that I've planned for SAI, but this is one that I will allow students to come late to class to go to it. It'll take place in late morning and early into the afternoon, and we'll give you the details. Now, with that tour, it's an incentive. They have to have very good attendance in the program to go on the tour. I'll describe what I'm looking for that a little bit later in this presentation. Are there any questions on anything so far? I'll stop here. Any questions come to mind, parents, that you might want to ask?
I have a question.
Go right ahead.
So the students who are doing online, are they also able to
Yes,
attend the field
yes,
trips? Okay.
yes. That's the exciting thing. That's why I have you here. You're entitled to everything the other SAI students are doing. Understood? And,
Yes, thank you.
and I think that was a great question. Thanks for reminding me to bring that up. It wasn't totally clear, was it? But they are entitled to everything the other. That's why I wanted you here for this, to hear this presentation. And I'll remind the students and remind you by email. I'm not keeping you out of that. You'll definitely know about it. I know you're very faithful parents, Sister Christine. I think you officially were the first parent to connect with me back in March or April. I'm not sure.
Yes, you came to my kid's school, Sarah. So
Oh yeah.
we're Cavaliers.
Oh yeah. Yes. How quick I am to forget. Sorry about that.
No worries.
All right, okay, great. Let's see, there's some student awards and incentives. Make sure you turn down your just shut off your mic. There you go. Student award, thank you, whoever did that, Bailey, whoever. Student awards and incentives. I'm really proud of this section here. I got it approved. I think it's going to be super cool. It has some other incentives I can't announce yet that the teachers will have starting in week 3 that I'm going to get from various vendors here in the city. We'll talk about that separately in an email. my teachers will have them. We want to really reward our students for their work. Coming out of pandemic, we need to do a lot of that, build them back up, their excitement about learning and education. Our first 2 week we're going to have a first 2 week attendance award for perfect attendance. If a student attends perfectly, the first 2 weeks, they'll get a special award from me. Okay, it's a director's award. It will be, I would say, pretty important to them, as I learned today in my advanced math class. You can ask them about that. You can ask CJ about that, Christine. Let's see, 4 week attendance awards we're going to give out. If there's still, of course, a perfect attendance would be easily win that award. I might have 2 of those rather than just having 1, but there's going to be an attendance award. There's a tie, I'll get something for everybody that's tied on it. But we want to reward students for wanting to be here. Because remember, if they don't want to come, they can kind of stay home, and it's summer and that's what happens. But, you know, we want to reward those that actually do come out and attend. The top 10 hours on the EdReady diagnostic program, which is the diagnostic software where your teachers are itching and aching, and me too, to learn where their weaknesses are so we can design things in our current summer program and even in the fall to really strengthen their math and get rid of these weaknesses before they get to college or the next level of schooling. Okay, so I need them on that EdReady program 45 minutes a day. Ileani, this is a good time to kind of get you involved here. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fine. Could you give them an idea of what EdReady is?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to ask you about ask you to tell them about the testing we're doing the first 2 days. Go ahead.
So EdReady is basically an online program that CSU has prepared for us to help kind of see where students are at currently in their math journey. And it helps them to get better at it, develop it, and it has specified curriculums for whatever subject they're studying. So like Deacon was saying, they kind of have it split up into 4 sections. There's foundational math, there's algebra, there's advanced algebra and advanced math, and then there's geometry. Basically, EdReady takes your students through whichever section they're at, and they make sure that they get the basis of that section, but it's done primarily online.
That's right. And again, we wanted to make sure they have other activities in there. Ileani was very good at reminding me to add other activities. And really, that's why we added that enrichment time there too, along with it. But we still want them on EdReady, and we will reward students who are in the top 10 of their hours in EdReady. We can see their hours, and their teachers can see how they're performing so they can design things for them to help them with their math. Now, I should say to my pre-calculus prep students, yes, there's a Babette Miss Sister Babette who's our math expert at CSU Long Beach, is designing a special online module along with Jason for advanced math students to chart their weaknesses in very advanced Algebra 2 topics. Okay, so they will have a chance to work on it for 2 to 3 weeks while they're on the program, and even afterwards if they want. So don't worry, we haven't forgot about the online students either, okay? Let's see the top hours on EdReady at the end of the program, of course, the top 2. So we have a top 10, top 2, or maybe just do the top person, period. I think we did that last time, and then we have the top 10, in the top 10 will reward too. Special tour qualifications. For the tour that we're trying to work out through Yard, I'm going to have special qualifications for that tour. I need to have 80% attendance or a director's waiver to attend that tour. And when you hear what the tour is, when they hear what it is, it'll be highly desirable. I don't want to break the secrecy on it until we know we're actually going to do it. And I know he's working on that pretty hard. Okay. How did I do, Yard? Was that okay?
Sounded fantastic.
Okay, good. Supplies. This is pretty important. Laptop, if possible. Notebook. I need them to have a clean notebook. 4 wood pencils. Please, let's avoid the graphic pencils. They can get used to get ready for the SAT that way, which doesn't allow those. And in the class, it's less distracting. They can get a sharpener. Remember those old wood pencils? They actually work. Other items that's directed by the teachers. I don't think we have much else. There may be a few other things we need. I know we already own a lot of stuff for the geometry class, like rulers and compasses and things like that, if Yard needs those, if the teacher needs those. How can you help us? All right. Encourage your youth to be attentive and get the most out of the session. Sorry for the break there. Get the most out of the sessions. Okay, that's a way that can really be helpful. Regard your youth's regular attendance highly. Hold them out only when it's fully necessary. You know, things come up and they have to miss. I totally understand that. But part of our grant is how our attendance will be, obviously. And we want to show a good record for attendance. Understand the importance of Ed Ready. Help them to do that, please. The online program I mentioned, allow your youth to participate in the field trips as much as possible. Again, same thing, you know, you have plans for them in the summer and it's not always convenient. Maybe they're going to go away for Friday and Saturday. I totally understand that. Just let us know who's going to go at the time and who can't go. We understand. Okay. Big thing on the field trips is it's been a problem in the past. People will say they're going to go and they don't go, and I've turned down people and the seat goes empty for the trip. I'm watching the bus with 2 empty seats. I know 4 people wanted to be there. So really be sure that your youth wants to go on these trips when you sign them up for it, because you won't be paying. So clearly there won't be any pain there. It's part of the cost of the program. Okay, let me see if there's anything going on in the chat I should be doing. It's Sharice, Sister Sharice. It's very similar to IXL. The difference is the amount of suggestions with AI, believe it or not, it gives to the teachers about what they should teach. That's the little subtlety and difference. I'm very familiar with IXL, by the way. And that's, I think, the difference is how it gives the information to the teachers in the Ileani. It's a little different and we like it for that reason. And CSU likes it, so what can I say? So if they are using IXL, they'll go over this. They'll go over the Ed Ready and kill over there. How's that? How'd I do, Sister Sharice? Did I answer the question? Sister Sharice?
Yes, I just did the thumbs up. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I couldn't see it. Sorry, I'm looking at a view where I'm only seeing my view graph. Sorry. All right. Yeah, they are very similar. I'm very impressed you brought up IXL actually. I actually think it's cool too. All right, okay. Let's see. Almost to the end here. Student expectations. High attendance to lecture. Going to talk about dressing appropriately and what that is in a minute. Engage with the teacher through questions and answers when prompted. Complete assignments in the class. Seek help from the assistant instructors. Use appropriate language and do not be disruptive. Work industriously on the Ed Ready program. Note taking during lecture. Complete assigned work. Prepare for quizzes and tests if they have them. Most teachers do it with evaluations and demonstrations, though. In a short enrichment program, that's the best way. And we want them to do any kind of, quote, testing, which is not really testing, by the way, within the Ed Ready context. Seek help from TAs. There it is again, seek help. Attentiveness and cooperation. And by the way, I'm overstaffed with excellent TAs. Matter of fact, I should introduce you to a couple I think are hanging around here today. I don't know if is Kelly here? I don't think Kelly can make it today. But I think I have Jordana here. Hey, Jordana, are you here?
I am.
So Jordana, you're back from college, right? Where'd you go to college? Where are you going to college?
I go to the George Washington University.
Oh, you know, yeah, you guys, that's an excuse for me to hear my alma mater. So Jordana's going to be with us this year, working with Ed Ready and helping the teachers out as well. I don't know if Brooke's here tonight. Brooke, are you here? I don't see who's here. Is Brooke here? No. Okay. And then we have Kelly Richardson also, who's going to be working with us. And then Lakewood, I have a whole assortment of excellent 2 TAs there. Attentiveness and cooperation in the class. Follow the dress code. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I found those view graphs and I think they're appropriate to cover, especially this year. I'll tell you why in a minute. Attend class as regularly as possible. Students miss class, they can always make up the work, but a repeat lecture is not possible. Usually it's not possible. Speaking of dress code, since we're going to be in the cathedral, remember we're going to be in the cathedral for these classes. So there'll be some of our staff occupying. It's a large facility, so they'll be occupying the same facility with staff that they are fairly isolated. And the staff gets off at 4:30 and 5. So, but this is some guidelines: no tank tops, basketball shorts, basketball shirts, sagging pants, or flip-flops, please. None of that. Same for the girls: no halter tops, tight-fitting clothing, uncovered leggings, and flip-flops. Profanity is totally unallowed. Running or fighting in the bathroom, no way. By the way, I have a pet peeve for play fighting. No play fighting either. Again, a lot of these things, parents, I'll deal directly with the student. Usually when I deal with a student or we deal with them at our level, it's worked and they act just perfect. I had 1 year a student in my program who we corrected the first day. He was a perfect student the rest of the course. And the parent came up to me and said, what did you do? This in 2019, came up to me and said, what did you do? I didn't get any calls from you like I get from school. Well, that's interesting. Maybe they don't know what to do. I just talked to that student, told them what the standards were. Classroom disruption will be swiftly and aggressively handled. No play fighting. Oh, I do have no play fighting. Everybody should keep their hands to themselves. I'm taking direct responsibility for behavior along with Nia. Nia will be there to interface and help me with it at the LA facility and also our other site too. I'll be talking to her about that. But we really want to make sure that, you know the standards. Again, we'll deal with the student. We don't like to worry with this stuff. 90% of the time, we can work things at our level, and we do work them at our level very effectively, okay? I mean, I have some teachers that are pretty good at classroom control. I'm thinking about some of these teachers. I don't know if I would cross them. I won't call y'all's names though, okay? Special considerations: on time, no classes on Monday and Tuesday, July 3rd and 4th. So July 3rd and 4th, there are no classes, no nothing. We're quiet on those days, okay? Notify us in writing if your youth is going home with someone else. Please do. Our security will look closely at that. They'll monitor your students leaving and coming in. If something's different, they get nervous. So let us know. Please email Nia and West AEP if you're going to need someone else to pick up your youth. You're going to get an email from us asking you to tell us who is. You said it on the original application who would be picking up, but we're probably going to remind you to tell us again. Just answer that email when you get it. And you can email there. If you can also use that if your student's not going to make it to class, so we have a written record if they can't make it. Of course, the best thing to do is to talk to the teacher when you miss class or you're going to miss, right? There is an instructor. Even on the days that they have Ed Ready, you can still tell your instructor. Please do your best to arrange for your student to be picked up at night rather than going home by bus or train. I know the cathedral is right next to the train, and I guess they could take a short ride on it, but it's best for you to pick them up at night. We'd feel much better, but only you know the situation. Some of you have them walking to the cathedral at school. If it's a short walk back home, I guess we're okay. Some of them are really close. I think you know who you are. You're super close. I totally understand that. Pick up your youth. If you have the last period class, I know my last period teachers will appreciate that. Please pick up your youth from the last period class at this site, not later than 7:45, please. It's over at 7:30. We like to get out of the cathedral on the way home and home by 8 o'clock, some of us. Some of us have to work in the morning, and we don't want to have us having to wait around the guard staff to wait for your youth. Or say they're 24/7, so we'll have to leave them with the guard, and they won't be happy, the student, because they'll be isolated to a particular place. So try to remember to pick them up right at 7:45. All right, that's all I actually have for the orientation. I'll take any questions here live or right from you right now, or in the chat. Either way, I'll take those right now, if you could. Anybody? Okay, I'll repeat again. If there's any new parents here who now would like to register for the program, best thing is to go to our website. www.eep, I'm sorry, www, hey, Christina or somebody, throw that into the chat. www.westa-eep.org. Please put that in the chat for these parents. Click on it and you just click programs and you can register them. I'm gonna pull down the registration though very shortly. So you need to do that and then we'll give you instructions right away. Thank you, Christina. We'll give you instructions right away on that. Since I have, let's see, there was something I wanted to say. So Christina, you'll be sending them the, I didn't share with you the presentation. So she'll be sending it to to everybody who signed up to come. She'll send a copy of that presentation. I'm sorry I didn't share it with you there, Christina. You'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I'll be able to send it.
Sister Shauna, you need to talk to me separately because you're a member of West Angeles. I might have said it, but I know how giving and loving you are. You probably didn't hear it. Brother Burley, deposit. Well, it's $50 fee, but they have to start. You need to tell me when you can pay if you're a late applicant. I would like everybody to pay the fee as soon as they can. But important thing is to register. When you register, you don't have to pay. We'll come back to you and we'll send you a link to pay. Okay, Brother Burley, I hope that clarifies for you, sir. I'm hoping I'm not driving you crazy there.
Oh, no, that is the information we're looking for. Thank you.
Okay, good. We're a little different like that, man. You know. All right, anybody else? Those are great questions. Anybody else? I'll be glad to say, Sister Kim, did I answer your question?
Me?
I didn't have a question if you're talking to me.
Oh, okay. It could be you. Go ahead. Sister Kim. Kim Hatton, I guess.
Okay, I'm Kim Hatton. I don't have a question.
All right, is it Kim Kelly, Kimberly Kelly? Which Kim is it?
It wasn't me. I just put in the chat that the dates for the field trips, even though it said Saturday, they're actually, the dates are for Saturday, even though the slide said Friday. So just wanted a little bit of clarity on that. That's all.
That's me. It's Fridays. It's the Friday. I'll look at it. I'll get it right when I email you, okay?
Thank you.
That was my question, because July 29th, we have our evangelist missionary prayer breakfast. And I was like, oh no, that's on a Saturday. So it's the field trip is on a Friday, not a Saturday.
Hey, you know, when you get to be 64, the struggle is real.
Yeah,
The struggle's
all
real.
right.
I know I don't look 64, but I am. Linnell, you laughing at me? Yes, you are.
With you.
Yeah, I want to say something about Sister Linnell. She's that extra math expert I told you about. She's the best insurance policy in the world. She'll be with us. I'll be telling her role, but she'll probably be handling that extra period where they need extra work, because we're not going to be able to do the Saturday workshop like we wanted. But I still want my way, so we're going to get my way. She'll be kind of roving around, helping the teachers and subbing for teachers when needed. She's an excellent, very experienced teacher. We were blessed to find. I found her quite by accident, you guys. It's an amazing story. I should write stories about how I found everybody here, really. That's why I don't put like one ads out there, Sister Linnell. God just does things. She's a great member of our church that's working with me here. All right. Did I catch every staff person here? I've been talking to Christina like y'all know her. She's my #1 project assistant. Say hi, Christina.
Hello, everyone.
And I also have a great assistant here, Bailey Salisbury. Say hi, Bailey.
Hello.
Bailey's the bomb, y'all. Did you know she could do 4 things at one time and doesn't know it? She's good, y'all. And she's been the one with me all the way on this startup, because I've had Christina putting out fires other places. But Bailey's been with me right from the startup of this thing, right, Bailey? Right from setting the sheet up and all that. So did you get emails from her? She's representing us as well. And there you go. Hey,
Got a question on the chat.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say shout out Stephanie for her eyes. She has a problem with her eyes. What's the question in the chat?
Hi, I have some questions. My name is Amber.
Right ahead.
Hi, so I noticed that I was just reading over the consent form, And
Oh, yeah, I didn't talk about that. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Maybe you'll answer some of my questions.
So in the consent form, totally optional, they can still do the program. That's why I'm so careful about how I talk about it, but we've already received about 9, thank y'all. CSU says they won't affect my grant if I don't, but it helps CSU when they can use the aggregate data to make decisions on their courses they offer to remediate or help students do better. And also for programs like this, they can know the kinds of curriculum to use here. Well, again, we're going to use the data to work with your student in the classroom, right? But the question is, can CSU use it not with the student's name on it, but as aggregate data? Also on the video thing, they're not going to be videotaping at our site. Now, I will be videotaping with my people, but I'll let you know ahead of time on all that, okay? So I hope that clarifies. I wish you would go ahead and approve it and get it back to me. We gave you a Word document to fill out. If you need that Word document again, just tell me. In fact, Bailey, could you note that I want to send that back out again to everybody? Okay, the IRB form. Now I'll see what specific questions Sister Amber. Hey, Sister Amber, do you have a student in the program?
I do. So my mom is Kimberly Kelly, actually. So,
oh, the old switcheroo on Deacon. I told you I'm 64. What y'all trying to do to me?
You're on the grandkids now.
What'd you say?
You're on the grandkids now. Nate is my grandson, but Amber is the
Oh
mom.
man, that's all of them. I'm working on the
daughter.
grandkids. I'm working on the grandkids. All right, Sister Amber, did you have a further question? I'm sorry.
I do. It's okay. So you said that that was one of my questions. What was the data going to be utilized for? So the data is for a grant that you created and CSU funds.
That's CSU, right? That's right. It's really a data collection program. Now they want to attach your student's name to it. It's the aggregate data that will be used to make decisions.
Yeah. And also, so the teachers that are teaching in this program, are they a part of that grant? Because I saw that you said it's like for Ed Ready teachers. Are they taking a course?
Our teachers were trained under that program by CSU, and their funding, we're paying them with funds from CSU.
Do the grant
Yes,
fund?
yes.
Okay.
Their funds come completely from the grant, not from the church. Go ahead.
Okay. And how is the data being utilized?
It's been utilized to help CSU to create high school programs to support math teaching in high school and build around how they should support programs like the Summer Algebra Institute. So it's for them to do their enrichment programs that are going to help inner city students when they get to the campus.
Okay, and how long is the data being stored?
I think they use it just for the next year. Every year they get fresh data.
Okay. And is there compensation? Because I know it's a research study, and sometimes research studies, there's compensation involved. Is anyone being compensated for participating in this research study?
Nobody's being compensated for participating, not that kind of study. It would bias the data. They want to use it for what they call, what's the term for it in science data when it's not, people aren't paid. It's called double something data. Anyway, it would defeat the purpose of them. There's some grants, like people going for doctoral degrees, they'll pay you to get
And that's essentially,
Just so you know, we as a church and program do not participate in those kind of grants.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
They own our students. We don't want anybody owning our students.
Thank you for clarifying. Those are all of my questions.
Those are great questions. I'm glad you asked.
Deacon Wilson, Riley's like, I've been waiting. They have Bible study with Brother Eric, so I'm gonna log on.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
Tell Brother Eric I still love him.
All right, okay. God bless everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, Eric's same night. What could I do? That's the youth pastor. Anybody else